Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
From Studio A, it's the In Wheel Time car talk show coming to you live here from Texas, USA.
Yep.
Coming up, Rodney Rodriguez talks about his new racing show and what's happening in the world of local circle track competition. And we'll also have the events calendar, plus the stories making automotive news headlines this week. Howdy, along with Mike Out of This World Mars, King Conrad DeLong. We need more Jeff Seekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us on this Saturday. Speaking of Rodney Rodriguez, here he is now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the new studio of Dirty Air.
And the crowd goes wild.
Guys, you should see. Somebody said something about a new studio as well, and it's like, well, the Revved Up banners are right down here. I just put those up on Monday. I see. So this goes up for Thursday.
So you're still doing the Revved Up Sports Show?
Yeah. Revved Up. The Dirty Air, it's actually really affording us the opportunity to kind of pull Revved Up back in more Texas. I mean, Revved Up was like, you know, we were talking to, well, we still do, but we're fixated more on Texas because it's very much a Texas show. So this other one is a good opportunity to talk to the Gulf Coast people and all that good stuff. So, but
a little
yes.
broader. Get the Mississippi, Alabama, Florida folks engaged.
Exactly.
Have you done some sort of a deal with Gina Child Knowles and Gulf Coast Racing Series? I know that they've got a video now that's available from mostly from the Mobile International Speedway. Are you part of that?
Yeah, that's in the Racing America package that she worked out. And you know, I tell you, you know, Don, she's a damn good negotiator. Yep. This whole thing, she came to me about 5 months ago and said, "Hey, you're going to be doing the show on Racing America." I'm like, "I am."
she negotiated that real well.
She's good.
Yeah, she already had this whole thing laid out, and I mean, and everything. So she's done a really good job with that. To where, you know, not only Dirty Air, but just like having our shows on Racing America has really. The growth that we've watched this year, we've only had, I think, 3 events, but it's been incredible to see. And honestly, we struggle with car count, but the racing's been good. But to see that the exposure that we've gotten, I mean, just across the country, I mean, to get people reaching out from the West Coast, it's like, hey man, we enjoy the racing there and so forth. So it's a great platform, and she's worked really hard, and I'm glad that the series is going in the direction that she wants it to.
Can you imagine what Bo has to go through? All the negotiations. Is she watching? I'll bet she is. I'm sorry, Gina. I just had to say that.
She was headed off to Alabama yesterday.
I had to go with it.
Yeah, you know, she'll text me every night. So get this, guys. So I went on Dirty Air a couple of weeks ago. We had a race. We had a race in Mobile, and I went on there. I had briefly told her this, but I never really confirmed it. And so on the show, I go on there and say, so if any driver from Pensacola comes out and beats, you know, a Mobile driver at Mobile this weekend, you know, you have to buy tires. It's two different tire manufacturers. I said, so if you come out and beat a Mobile guy, we're going to refund your tire bill. And I mean, as soon as that show ended, she's like, Bo said, what, WTF? Yeah. So,
but did it draw more racers to the track?
Right, exactly.
You know, that's the objective, is to draw more people to the track.
And it worked. It worked. I mean, we had a sportsman guy that came out, and he did. And here's the cool part. So he came out and he did that. So obviously he has tires. He came back the next race. So mission accomplished.
There you go.
How much are tires? How much are racing tires?
You know, I think right now it probably pushes you about $600 a set, maybe more. Since I actively am not competing right now, I just will not say that I'll never do it again. But since I'm actively not competing right now, and I really don't want to know. I don't know the cost of racing fuel, and I don't know the cost of racing tires.
No, can you imagine the cost of racing fuel's got to be going sky high right now.
Yeah, you know that. So how are things in the Gulf Coast Racing Series, since you cover both Houston Motorsports Park and Mobile International Speedway?
It's healthy. It's just a matter of It's so hard right now, guys. It, for the Texans, I mean, it kills us for the Texans because it's hard for the Texans to get outside of Texas anyway. But especially right now, I mean, just like we were talking about, cost of fuel and everything. I mean, it's just so tough. But the good thing is, and I think this will happen when we get back to Houston on July 2nd, is there's a healthy contingent of people in Mobile that actively support that racetrack as often as possible in all of those classes. And I think the Texans here, they are just chomping at the bit to get back on the racetrack. So, as long as we have good weather that week of July 2nd, I think that's really going to allow us to knock it out of the park there in Houston. I'm anticipating just a huge, especially when we get to trucks and modifieds and all of that. I think by far the Houston race is going to be our highest car count up to that point, once we get that race in.
Well, and we're also having the Miata race.
Yep.
Yeah.
That ought to be an absolute hoot.
Yeah, that right there, that came about, and again, that's something Gina came up with. And it's same thing. I get a phone call. She's like, "Hey, we're going to run these Miatas at the circle track." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
But Richard was actually on Revved Up Monday, and just talking about the way that's all come to pass right there. And I think that's going to be, I always say, NASCAR has their next gen car. I think for Texas racing, that's going to be your next gen car right there, because that's going to be something along the lines of what the eco stocks are, except not as.
It's going to be a step above the eco stocks.
Right.
Well,
right.
and there's such a large contingent of spec Miata owners out there. It's affordable, and it's fun, and they're always looking for a place to go, and this is new. Let's go turn left.
Yeah.
Because they're so used to left, right, left, right, left, right.
Yep.
And now we're all going to go turn left. How much fun is that going to be? And I would imagine there may be a little bit of rubbing his race.
Oh, you know
as
that
goes on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's the thing. When Richard was on Saturday, I kind of touched, or Monday, I touched on that a little bit, and he said, "Oh, expect us to be leaning on each other."
Oh yeah.
He said these guys are fired up, and he's talking. There could be 40 to 50 cars there,
Yeah.
and that's man.
I would
you
love
put all
to
40 of them on the track at the same time?
Probably heats.
Well,
But
they'll have
yeah.
heats, and I guess they'll probably limit the feature competition to the ones that do well in
Yeah,
the
the
heat.
top
Because
so-and-so.
40 on the track is going to be an endless loop.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
But the
I
more
would
the
assume
merrier.
there'll be B mains and consolations, and I would think the race director and me would say let's go with 24. 24 is a good number, but that's entirely up to them. I guess if they want to run 40, hey. We can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, not only have mashed fenders, but there will be no bumpers left either. Yeah.
Well, but how cool is that though? That a road racing sport wants to engage with
Circles.
engage
Well,
with
it's
the
something
circle
completely
track stuff,
new.
yeah.
Well, it's something completely new, and who else could you do that with? I mean, you
Right.
can't say, "Oh, well, let's have all the Mustang guys come out." I mean, you're not going to get guys that have been out on the track like at MSR or any place like that. The Miata is the only place that's really got that
Right.
kind of grassroots.
To start it on their own. That's why they're joining up. And
Yeah.
that makes perfect
Much
sense.
less have 40 cars show up.
Right.
That's going to be cool.
And I think what this is really going to do, I mean, this is going to bring an entirely different demographic to that July the 2nd race, because you're going to have folks that are coming specifically to watch the Miatas,
Right.
that maybe they go to MSR, maybe they go to COTA, maybe they go, wherever it may be to follow that
Crescent,
series.
yeah.
And hopefully what'll happen, they're going to get hooked on a modified or on a Texas truck or something. We did that in Kyle here at the old Central Texas Speedway, several years back, where we had a huge country music concert after the races, is the way we promoted it. And we ran the races a little bit early, and we had all these people that came out, and before we realized it, several races down the road, we were still pulling the country music crowd because they liked the racing. And I
Got
think
a
this
taste
Miata
of it.
thing, this is going to be huge.
Well,
This
yeah,
is gonna-
people might not know that those kind of events are around, much less that close to their house. And it's like all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to follow them. I'm going to see what's going on, and I'm going to go to the next couple of events, next 3 or 4 events.
And it's such a cool event here in Houston because you got dollar beers, dollar dogs, and just fill the stands.
Yeah.
And you do have to put this, when you look at this and you try to market it, you do have to. I know a lot of old school race fans will frown on the NASCAR factor, but you have to understand that with new fans or the new demographic you want to go get, all they know is NASCAR. They don't know anything we do. I mean, they watched the Indy 500 last weekend, maybe, and maybe you hooked them on the Coke 600, but all they know is NASCAR. All they know is a circle and turning left, like you said. So if they go and they see that on a downsized version, it's like, hey, look, NASCAR in Houston, whether it's NASCAR or not.
Now, is the Houston race going to draw some Mobile racers, I hope?
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. We had some guys that came over and ran the big truck race last year from Mobile. One of them, Jerry Goff, he actually is the point leader right now in Mobile. He has not been beat this year in Mobile, and he actually circled the race in Houston where he said, I'm used to running half miles and so forth. I came and ran the 3/8 mile bull ring. It's a bull ring to him. And he said it totally changed their racing program, and he has not lost since he was in Houston.
So he
Really?
learned
So
something
he
here
learned-
on the
yeah.
shorter track.
He did. He was on the podium. He finished third. I think you talked to him, Don. It was that white number 10 truck.
Oh, yeah.
That truck had no didn't have anything on it. You should see that truck now. That truck is gloss black. It's got sponsorship all over it. And the guy is kicking everybody's ass. He's about to have a bounty put on him. He's
Well,
doing so well.
being successful,
Yeah.
that's when all the sponsors want to jump on as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So is there a race in Mobile between now and July the 2nd?
Yeah, next weekend in June. And Don, you would appreciate this, but of course, just the nature of what we're dealing with. We were supposed to have sprint cars on that track, on that half mile.
Oh, my gosh. I would love to see that.
Yeah, well, tire shortage.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Now, when you're
Yeah.
saying sprint cars, were you talking about the winged ones?
I was
or
thinking the same
non-winged
thing.
ones?
I would.
I think it's a non-wing.
I was just
think
going
it
to say,
was a
because
non-wing.
wings are great for dirt, but you've got a lot of sideways action
Way
with that.
too much speed.
It's way too much downforce on a track because the speeds are so much higher on an asphalt track.
And think about that one over there, Don. You get up there and you try to rip the cushion up on the top side, and you're going to go right off the
Yeah,
edge.
there's no guardrail.
There's no guardrail in
Off you
Mobile.
go into the parking lot.
Well, no, it's not the parking lot, but I'll tell you what, there's plenty of weeds out there.
Yeah.
There's trees out there.
And
That's
trees too. Yeah,
Hold my beer, watch this.
But that's one of the appeal, and I don't think I have ever been to a track that doesn't have a guardrail around it. This one, the only guardrail is right in front of the stands, and it's a big one.
It's a
And,
concrete.
It's a concrete wall that you have to climb down to get across the track if you're going to walk out there. But that's a very so. How is the folks how the people come into the race? Is that picked up?
Place is to capacity as much as it can be. The grandstands are still being. I would say we're maybe 3/4 of the way with those complete, because it's a situation where when there's time you work on the grandstands, you do all this other stuff. When there's time you work on the grandstand. And last weekend for the Memorial Day Classic out there presented by Advanced Auto Parts, we had I would say every piece of wood that people could put a tail on was covered, and that was really good to see, and they're excited, and the track is just so deeply rooted over there, and folks are they're continually coming back. I think the more people that realize that the place is going, and now there's a very consistent active schedule to where you can go somewhere and see what the schedule is and plan your day around being at the racetrack, and not hope that the race is going to happen, kind of like what we're doing in Texas. People know, and they're showing up in droves. And there are still people that like the other effect, and this will actually stay, because when we didn't have the capacity last year, we were allowing kind of tailgating in the infield down in the corners,
Right,
and people
yeah.
still want to go do that. So kind of a two-tone effect there with Mobile.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you that I heard early on that there was a lighting problem or electric problem going on out there that Gina had to deal with. And so, to rejuvenate a track that's been idled for several years is quite an undertaking. And she's been taking it a step at a time.
Yeah, and the place is cleaned up very nice. I mean, she's done a great job. There's a construction company out there. We talked about the drop-offs. S. Feller Construction, they came in and they placed brand new dirt in the corners, on the backside.
Yep.
They've got that all graded out. It's nice and smooth. I mean, it's still a heck of a drop-off, but it's not near what it was before. But it's funny what paint and cleaning up. I mean, the place just seems like it has new legs. And I tell Gina and I are both kind of firm believers, and we're both older souls, and neither one of us is young, but we're older souls than we really are. And it seems like every now and then when we're having a race there, and I've seen this 4 times in the races that we've had there, we may get a little bit of weather or whatever, and a rainbow just comes right over the racetrack. And I tell her, I'm like, look, you're onto something here, because that
here's your sign.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, it is Pride Month.
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Conrad cleans up pretty good too.
Yeah,
So we do that to him.
I don't know how much of a factor that is in Irvington, Alabama.
But it's cool. The more success the track has, the more people it's going to draw, the more success it's going to have. So it's kind of feeding on itself at the moment.
Yeah.
Really
I wanted to ask you, what are the classes? Do you know the classes that are going to be racing here in Houston on July the 2nd?
So as far as I know at this point, you'll have your Advanced Auto Parts trucks, which that's the staple right there. The CarQuest Modifieds will be back, the TechNet Outlaws, and then we will have the Wheelman Sportsman, which used to be the Super Stocks. There's been a couple of rule modifications there to get more people in with that. The Lone Star Legacies will be back, and of course the Miatas. That's what I know of at this point. I don't know if the karts and so forth will be on that show ticket, but all of those will be there. So that in and of itself right there, and you figure it's probably going to be, what is it, usually $15 to get in there. It'll be a whole day of practice, qualifying, and then of course your features. And like I said, I'm really expecting, especially with the layoff that the Texans have had, I'm really expecting a pit full, or we better have a pit full of people there for that.
Yeah,
one.
I would imagine so. I mean, guys have been sitting at the garage and working on the cars and waiting for a date here locally, and we finally got one in July the 2nd. That'll be a great 4th of July weekend, and it couldn't have been any better as far as the way the calendar fell. July the 2nd, a Saturday, July the 4th, a Monday. It just turns out that it's going to be, I think, an awesome event. Rod, it's great to talk to you, my friend.
Absolutely.
I hope Gina invites me back to do the Winner's Circle interviews, but I haven't heard from her.
I think you're like I think you just have like a standing. I mean, you just show up. I mean, I think it's one of those
just
things
like you normally do if the court order's not in place.
The court order's
Don's here for the beer.
That's it. Hey, Rodney, it's great to talk to you, my friend.
Hey Don, so I wanted to ask you, but before you cut me loose, so how was it? So you were back on the drag strip? Did I see that correctly?
Oh my gosh, yes! I took the car on the drag strip. I did the Hot Rod Tour of Texas. Started down in Victoria and went north over 3 days through the hill country up there by you, Dripping Springs. We did all of that. And one of the stops was at a drag strip up there. And, so I made it to the 13.0 in the quarter mile, and half a second reaction time for an old man's not too bad. So there you go. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I love to hear stuff like that.
Thank you.
And next is he's going to go to the Corvette Invasion, and he's going to drive around COTA. And that may be a 13-minute.
They're going to issue him a calendar when he gets out there.
Don't get seasick going up the hill in turn 1. It's a heck of a climb.
We love you, man. Dirty Air, Rodney Rodriguez. Thanks, man.
Take care, guys. Be well.
You too.
You bet.
We'd love to hear from you. Just shoot us an email. Our address here at In Wheel Time is info@inwheeltime.com.
That's always fun talking to Rodney.
It is.
Very passionate.
Looking forward to going out there. I haven't heard from Gina. Probably after this show, I'll get a text or something.
She's working on the bleachers.
Well, yesterday, whenever I tried to catch up with her, she was on her way to Alabama. She was going to call me while she was on the road.
She was actually here?
No, she was there, but she was going someplace in Alabama.
Oh, I see.
Because
she's moved over there.
Yeah.
Oh, she has?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's closer to the action.
Conjugal visits. I don't know how all that
Oh.
works.
No, I
but
thought they
whatever.
all went. I thought he went with her.
Well, our race weekends for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
At any rate.
they got it figured out.
Shut up. What are you laughing about? Giggling over there.
Conjugal visits.
Whatever.
That's what Don did whenever he was. Never mind.
There's no dirty talk on the air here.
No, there's none of that.
That was Rodney's show, Dirty Air.
Dirty Air. I mentioned this earlier, but I'm going to mention it again. Buick plans to stop selling gasoline-powered vehicles in North America by the end of the decade after rolling out a full lineup of electrics that will revive the Electra name from its heyday. The brand will go all EV in roughly the same time frame as Cadillac and push General Motors closer to its goal of having all light vehicles it sells be fully electric by 2035. Buick, which also updated its logo Wednesday to signal the coming overhaul of its lineup, does not plan to launch any new internal combustion vehicles after 2024, when its first EV is scheduled to arrive.
Yeah, the change of Oldsmobile's logo did it so much good. They had to change the Buick logo.
Actually, did you see the new Buick logo? It looks really good, I think. It's red, white, and blue, but it still keeps the shields and all that.
So the Electra deuce and a quarter.
Do you still have that Olds tattoo on your?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You want to see it again?
No.
No, please keep your pants on. We're good. A defective battery pack caught fire over the last weekend, at the Revved Automotive Incorporated plant in Normal, Illinois. According to the Normal Fire Department, firefighters arrived at the plant at 10:38 a.m. Saturday, where they found a battery pack in thermal runaway, meaning it had overheated and caught fire.
Yeah, they couldn't figure out how to put it out.
Firefighters connected hoses to standpipes inside the building and extinguished the battery pack fire, and then continued to flow water on the pack to keep it cool to prevent thermal runaway from occurring again, the department said in a statement. Firefighters from nearby Bloomington assisted because of the size of the fire. Once the pack was extinguished, firefighters moved the fire-damaged battery outside of the plant
so it can
with a pair
catch fire
of
again.
hot pad holders and towed it out of there.
General Motors is going to become the first company to secure a permit to charge for self-driving cars in San Francisco. So your Uber's going to show up and there's going to be no driver behind it. The self-driving test cars with human safety drivers right now have become a constant sight in San Francisco, and completely driverless ones are increasingly common too, turning them into a fledgling business for General Motors and their side company called Cruise in a major milestone in
cruising.
San Francisco. Yep. So it'd be kind of weird. The car just kind of shows up and you get in.
Some of the drivers I've seen when I've been out there, I was up in Detroit, I'd just as soon have nobody there.
Nobody, then yeah.
Well, there's that.
And then, they're trying to steal them, too.
Kind of like Home Alone, New York, where the cab driver that had one eye and
Yeah.
Recalls this week are interesting. Inoperative side marker lights on the Jeep Wrangler for 2022.
Minor.
Okay, fine. Hazard lights may flash while braking on the Jeep Grand Cherokee 2022.
Minor.
I'd like to just go ahead and put that on as a standard feature on them. Let the braking lights flash while you
pay attention to me. I'm stopping.
Insufficient welds in the high voltage battery in the Ford Escape for 2020 and the Lincoln Corsair for 2021.
That could be pretty major.
In the battery?
That's what it says.
Are you building to a crescendo?
I am. Oh, you're going to love this.
Pac-Man.
Disabled instrument cluster display screen, Hyundai Palisade 2022. Hyundai Accent Elantra HEV 19 through 2023. Seatbelt pretensioners may explode.
Which is what they're designed to do at a certain time, just not
randomly.
Yeah. Seat cushion frame not welded properly. Cadillac XT4, Chevy Blazer, Chevy Equinox, Chevy Malibu, 2021, 2022. But can you see this
drum
list?
roll.
Can you see this list from here?
Yeah, you can see it's pretty
you see
long.
it?
Full
multiple
page.
pages.
Well, no, but I mean, what would you say? There's 10, 20, 30, 40, at least 40 cars from maybe 50. I'm not going to go through all of them, but it is all of them that Mercedes makes. Disabled emergency call system. They're recalling the call system. How is that a recall? Disabled emergency call system. Because they make cars that don't have an emergency call system in them.
This probably is umbrellaed as a safety, but it might be more of a compliance. Remember,
So it's
2
cars
recalls.
from 2017 to current, and it's almost everything that Mercedes-Benz makes. And
So in the case of a wreck, the car has its emergency call
right.
system.
But to his point, they make cars that don't have that.
Right.
But I'm betting that it's probably because they've created this expectation that
Well,
the car is going to do this for you from a safety perspective.
my guess is that the car has been given its blessing with a call system in it, and now it's under federal guidelines that if the call system doesn't work, then
Well, could this be driven by 5G, 3G? You know, there's a whole bunch of cars that are out there that were designed to operate under 3G.
Yep. Makes sense.
Wireless service that aren't going to work as 3G gets shut down.
My truck's that way.
nationwide.
It's 3G, and it's sooner or later it's just going to stop.
Go
so
blank,
what's
right?
going to happen?
I'll have to upgrade
They're
the
going to recall
system. No, I'll have to upgrade the system. Take the whole head unit out and all that stuff.
Are
that's
you
in the dash.
serious?
No, you won't.
You think they'll
They're not going to do it for free,
No, they're not.
and you're not going to spend $2,000 to do it.
No, you can do it aftermarket for about $1,000.
Don't we have parts
I've
in the
already
yellow
looked.
box? The yellow box has got
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
we
got
get
to
parts in
have
there.
wires to fix that here somewhere.
Yeah. Make a run up to Walmart. I'm sure that they've got something for you.
And that has happened before. OnStar originally was an analog connection, and then it went digital, and then GM shut down the analog connection. So a huge number of early OnStar adopters lost their OnStar, and there was no upgrade available to it.
Well, my
So-
Corvette doesn't have any of that stuff on there, and it's not being recalled.
No, well, because it doesn't have any of that stuff on there.
Yeah.
This.
But I've got a cell phone that I use that I connect through a Bluetooth device to the radio, and it works just fine for me. Thank you. I don't have to spend $2,000 on some big screen thing that I got to cut up the dash.
We can do that.
I know that we can, and I'm not going to. Quick break now. We'll be right back. We're on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on iHeart Radio.
Father's Day weekend, Saturday, June 18th, 2022. It's the next Tailpipes and Tacos Cruise In, and you're invited. Tailpipes and Tacos Father's Day edition will be at the same Loopy Tortilla in Katy, 8 to 11 a.m. on Saturday, June 18th. It's the only place cruisers compete for trophies and other prizes. Enter your vehicle for Best Hot Rod, Best Classic, and Best Modern Classic. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's coolest cruise-in and is your opportunity to see the best hot rods, show cars, classics, and resto mods, and get Loopy Tortilla breakfast tacos and adult beverages. There's no entry fee, and cars will automatically compete for custom Loopy trophies and other prizes. It all happens at the Loopy Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10. Kick off summer with Tailpipes and Tacos Father's Day edition, Saturday, June 18th. The In Real Time Car Talk Show will be there too. Celebrate Father's Day, the start of summer, and the return of Tailpipes and Tacos. Saturday morning, June 18th, 8 to 11. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Want to take a minute to tell you about Gulf Coast Auto Shield, a Houston detail company like no other. Gulf Coast Auto Shield offers paint correction services that'll give your car, truck, or SUV a like-new shine. Afterwards, you'll want to protect it with a professionally installed nano-ceramic coating or protection film. Worried about your very expensive windshield getting damaged, broken, or cracked? Let Gulf Coast Auto Shield install Exo Shield, a windshield protection film. Give John Gray a call today or check out their website, gcautoshield.com. Hey, whether you own a new, ultra-expensive, exotic, or a 5-year-old Suburban, Gulf Coast Auto Shield will help keep your investment looking like the day it rolled off the assembly line. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is conveniently located on the South Sam Houston Parkway, just south of I-69, the Southwest Freeway. Meet the staff and check out all of their services online right now at gcautoshield.com. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show is now part of the iHeart family. Now you'll have access to 24/7 car talk anytime you need a fix. Just download the iHeart Radio app and ask for In Wheel Time Car Talk, and there we are. Be sure to save us in your iHeart library for instant access. No matter where you are, you have the best car talk show right on your PC, laptop, or mobile device and never have to worry about finding us again. Of course, you can always get access to our video and audio streams via InWheelTime.com and your favorite podcast channel, and all of this is free to you. From the iHeart Radio app, you'll not only hear our Saturday morning live show, but the best shows of the past, updated weekly. Never miss a minute of up-to-date new car reviews, pre-owned reviews, Conrad's Car Clinic, informative interviews, automotive news, and the most fun car talk show on the planet. Just download the iHeart Radio app, search for In Real Time Car Talk, save it to your library, and with a tap of the icon, you'll be in touch with your favorite car talk team. In Real Time Car Talk, streaming now on iHeart.com/In Real Time Car Talk. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.